The goal of systemic change in the Vincentian family is to create a more just world order. One of the essential things to remember about systemic change is that one size doesn't fit all. Projects are unique because they are responding to the needs of specific populations. And so the projects that follow illustrate a variety of different ways of approaching systemic change. In some cases, they started with direct service projects, but eventually moved into more systemic change projects. Systemic change is a concept that is at once both universal and uniquely Vincentian. It is related to advocacy and the Vincentian approach to working with persons living in poverty, which is never a quick fix, but rather is creative, practical, and sustainable. The Tierra Madre Sustainable Community is an option for the economically poor and for the earth. This project was featured in a UN booklet entitled Best Practices in Poverty Eradication. The Tierra Madre community is in Sunland Park, New Mexico, which is right along the Mexican border with Texas and New Mexico. It is a project which led to affordable housing, leadership development, preservation of land for long-term housing, intercultural sharing, furthering appropriate technology and affordability in low-income areas, and it's a model of what is possible in other areas. Now, this is a large project which took many years to complete. It took place in a very dry, arid area along the border. It involved building 47 straw bale houses for low-income persons. It also developed a community among those people. The people themselves, at every stage of the development of this project, were engaged. To this day, they still continue to have a community board which has the final say in what happens within their community. Systemic change aims at radical transformation in the lives of the excluded. The Salt and Light program in Arkansas is rooted in the need for systemic change in the Catholic Church throughout Arkansas. Using a grassroots approach, parish-based ministry programs organized at the local parish level enable parishioners to become active in addressing the needs of their communities and provide the catalyst for statewide activity. The Daughters of Charity have been involved with this project. Following disaster after disaster, first, the effects of Hurricane Katrina, followed by tornadoes year after year. This project was born to bring parishioners together with other organizations in the area. Collaboration is a hallmark of systemic change and is evidenced in Arkansas as the Arkansas Rice Depot, Arkansas Food Bank, Network, AmeriCorps, Catholic Charities, a Baptist Fellowship, the Congregation of the Mission, the Daughters of Charity, the Ladies of Charity, the St. Vincent de Paul Society, among others, work together. Sometimes it was a direct response, direct aid. Following the tornado, following the hurricane, people needed immediate need. But gradually it grew into looking at the systemic changes for the poverty in Arkansas. And as persons from different groups gathered together, they began to discuss what they might do to eradicate the poverty that existed, to eradicate the root causes, and engage the people themselves in the process. And so the Salt and Light systemic change approach provides formation in theological reflection, social analysis, systems planning, and program design in a pastoral cycle context to all of the parishes so that they can develop and sustain ministries in their local parish communities. In responding to needs in the community, they found difficulties with immigration, with trafficking of human beings, and so were able to address these by the training that they had received and again engage people themselves in eradicating the difficulties. Systemic change in works among those living in poverty aims beyond providing food, clothing, and shelter to alleviate immediate needs and enables people themselves to engage in the identification of the root causes of their poverty and to create strategies to change those structures which keep them in poverty. This also requires changing attitudes that have caused the problem. This is the working definition from the Vincentian family collaborators here in the United States for systemic change.